We are counting down 8 plants so dangerous that a single touch can mean blistering burns, systemic poisoning, or months of agony. From familiar trail hazards to a rainforest species feared by all who know its name, here is number 8. In the 8th place, poison ivy, oak, and sumac are the most common botanical hazards in North America. Their threat comes from urushiol, an invisible oil that binds to skin proteins, triggering a delayed immune reaction that causes blistering rashes. This oil transfers to tools, clothing, and animal fur, and it can remain active for years. While the rash itself cannot spread between people, touching contaminated gear will trigger new outbreaks. Worse, burning these plants releases urushiol into the air, risking severe lung damage. Washing the skin with soap within only 10 minutes is the safest way to prevent this highly painful contact. Number 7, giant hogweed can grow up to 13 feet tall along riverbanks and disturbed roadsides. Brushing against this invasive plant releases a sap loaded with organic compounds called furocoumarins. While many toxic plants trigger allergies, giant hogweed sap causes a direct phototoxic burn. When the sap touches skin and reacts with ultraviolet sunlight, it triggers phytophotodermatitis. This chemical reaction produces severe, blistering, and painful, long-lasting burn injuries that can persist for months. Eye contact is especially dangerous, risking permanent blindness. Washing the sap off immediately and staying out of the sun is the primary defense. Number 6, deadly nightshade shifts the hazard from external skin irritation to systemic poisoning. Its threat comes from its glossy, sweet-tasting black berries, which often attract unsuspecting children. Just 3 berries can poison a child, while 10 can kill an adult. The foliage and fruit contain 3 lethal tropane alkaloids: atropine, scopolamine, and hyoscyamine. These block chemical transmitters in the body, causing anticholinergic syndrome, characterized by dilated pupils, rapid heart rates, and severe delirium. Because it pairs an attractive appearance with a long history of toxic misuse, any accidental exposure requires instant contact with emergency poison control. Number 5, poison hemlock, represents a lethal trap of misidentification. Growing in roadside ditches and fields, it is frequently mistaken for edible wild carrot, parsley, or parsnip. Every part of this plant contains conine, a powerful neurotoxin that blocks neuromuscular transmission. Ingestion leads to progressive paralysis that eventually shuts down the respiratory system, causing suffocation while the victim remains conscious. This direct failure to breathe is why it ranks above nightshade. Historically, this rapid paralysis made the plant the preferred method for state executions in ancient Greece, most famously ending the life of the philosopher Socrates. Number 4, the manchineel tree turns its entire coastal habitat into a hazard. Growing along sandy Caribbean beaches, every part of this tree is saturated with toxic phorbol esters. The white sap causes blistering skin burns on contact. Seeking shelter under its branches during rain is a severe mistake, as runoff water carries the toxins directly onto skin. Eating its small, apple-like fruit causes intense internal swelling, while smoke from burning its wood can cause permanent blindness. This multi-root threat is why Spanish explorer Ponce de Leon died after being struck by an arrow tipped with its toxic sap. Coming to the top 3, aconite, also known as monk's hood, hides lethal power behind beautiful blue alpine flowers. Its principal toxin, aconitine, forces voltage-gated sodium channels to stay open, causing continuous neuronal firing. Dermal contact triggers early warnings of numbness and tingling, while ingestion rapidly progresses to severe ventricular arrhythmia and cardiac arrest. This threat of sudden whole-body collapse is why it ranks above the manchineel tree. Cultivated in ornamental gardens and dangerously misused in traditional remedies, even a few milligrams can kill, historically making it a notorious tool for homicide, including the famous 1881 Lamson murder. In second place, the castor bean hides an incredibly potent poison inside an ordinary-looking garden ornamental. The primary hazard lies within its seeds, which become highly dangerous when crushed or damaged. This plant contains ricin, a lethal protein that shuts down cellular protein production, causing rapid cell death. There is no specific antidote, making emergency supportive medical care the only treatment option. Historically recognized as a biological weapon, this toxin gained international notoriety in 1978, when a tiny ricin-filled pellet assassinated Bulgarian dissident Georgy Markov. This extreme toxicity and history of documented lethality make the castor bean one of the most feared botanical threats on Earth. And finally, in first place, the Gympie tree of Australia's eastern rainforests delivers the most agonizing pain on contact in the natural world. Its leaves and stems are carpeted in microscopic, needle-like trichomes that pierce the skin at the slightest touch. These silica hairs inject gympiotides, potent neurotoxins that lock pain receptors open. Accidental contact triggers an excruciating sensation resembling hot acid and electrocution, a torment that can recur for months. Native Gubbi people traditionally avoided this hazardous sting tree. Relieving this torture requires immediately pulling the microscopic needles out with adhesive tape, as standard painkillers rarely touch this legendary, long-lasting, biological nightmare. These 8 species prove nature's deadliest defenses are entirely invisible. The green world is silent, armed, and unforgiving. Which plant surprised you most? Let us know below.